Hi Pile 1. If you chose the digital painting of the lady with the red rose crown, then this is your reading. What do other people think that is so special about you? The captain of airships, which is the king of swords. Right off the bat, you are an extremely smart person, like Sherlock Holmes level smart, and correspondingly a bit cold in your approach. A fair person who's always going to keep the scales balanced. Think Libra. Many famous personalities were born in the sign of Libra. Gandhiji, for example, they are able to live out the human experience while simultaneously being an outside observer of the same. Similarly, you are a people scientist, if we can put it like that. And the Seven of Pentacles. You are just a star waiting to be born. That's the kind of impression that you give people. Also, there is a 777 in this card, which is a quite lucky number. The Seven of Pentacles is called success unfulfilled in the thought deck. But I think the delayed success makes it all the more sweeter. Similarly, people tend to look at you and think you are a determined, hardworking person who's one day going to make it big. While on the dark side, it also means that some people may consider you a bit of a wasted potential. Like you are going to be holding yourself back forever. You are a contradiction, Pile 1. A king and a 7. Let's see why you consider yourself special. The Magician. Oh, you have an iron will, which has been reinforced by the first, second, and the third card. You are extremely blessed when it comes in terms of wits. You think you can speak your way out of any situation if you so wish. Also, you are a master manifester. The Magician commands all the 4 elements when he is in control of his own self. Because what is the blessing of the Mercury is also its curse. If you are capable of controlling the speed of your thoughts and its flow, your mind is a frightening machine. If you are by chance not on the driver's seat, then your mind can just drive you crazy. Similarly, your tongue can be slick or sharp depending on your mood that day. Your tongue can comfort the worst bereaved people but also slice through the most confident mind. And the King of Cups. Okay, this is the second king. And what a contrast they are. While the King of Swords is a smart, fair person who looks through the lens of mind rather than the heart, the King of Cups is all about the heart. If I am correct, this is the card of Cancer. Think Princess Diana. You are perceived as a very cold person by other people. But you consider yourself a very heart-centered person. You tend to offer to fill other people's cups because you have the entire ocean under your control. Your cup is always full and your emotions are just brimming, which on the good side makes you a very sensitive and kind person, while on the bad side means you can have extreme mood swings. Your next card is the Four of Swords. These two cards I meant to say why you are special. In the Four of Swords, in a typical deck, you will see the grave of a celebrated knight. But in this deck, it shows a lamb that is sitting quietly under four swords that are pointed right above its head. This reminds me of an eternal optimist, someone whose glass is always half full, be it with water or with air. Likewise, you might be someone who sees the silver lining in even the darkest of the clouds. This also links back to your ancestors, because in the traditional interpretation, the Four of Swords links back to a decorated ancestor who is guiding you in some way. Likewise, you might be a traditional person in the sense that you honor your ancestors and try your best to maintain your culture. And your next card, it's the Seven of Pentacles again. So, at least in some sense, you are consistent in your external image and the internal reason. You tend to be a rather introspective person, someone who evaluates both sides of any situation that you are in. You have long-term goals that might take a time to manifest, but you are not going anywhere till they materialize in your hand. That is an admirable quality which balances out the fickleness of the Mercury. Look at this. All of these are mercurial cards, and these are grounded, earthy, emotional cards. A perfect balance. And your next card is the Hierophant, which is the card that represents traditions in its purest form. You know, you might have some spiritual beliefs, or you might be a very spiritual person. Perhaps you are also a very patient teacher who can make the worst of the students learn anything, because you are quite patient and very optimistic. Not to mention, you have a very good control of all your emotions. So, you are willing to try again and again with whoever your student is. Hierophant also relates to family and traditions. So, this again showcases that you have this deep emotional connection with your roots that makes people think of you as someone very, very special. And your final card is the Three of Rods. Wow! Not only are you deeply rooted, but you have the wings to fly. The Three of Rods is the Mars in Aries, if I am not mistaken. This is the young emperor looking out, sending out his ships to conquer the world in his name. Likewise, you appear to be a well-traveled, well-planned person who has great things in their future. Not only that, you are already a king who is looking to become an emperor. Pile 1, you sound like a splendid person. No wonder you are so special. That's all for your reading, and I'll see you in your next one. Bye. Hi Pile 2. If you chose the English memorial of the little boy holding a crown, then this is your reading. So, why other people think you are special? The Five of Engines, which is the Five of Wands. This is such a cool card. Look at this. This is like two robots fighting, being cheered on by all the other people. This reminds me of that Hugh Jackman movie, Hard Steel. Anyway, if you remember it, please comment down below. Anyways, they see you as this valorous person because in thought this is called the Lord of Valor. This is Leo in its fighting form. You are just absolutely ruthlessly competitive. You are always up for a bet and you win every dare that comes in your path. Your next card is, wow, the fire energy is just sparking off the cards. This is Captain of Engines, which is the King of Wands. They see you as this absolute firebrand energy, someone who is just a natural born leader, who walks into a room and takes charge immediately. You are charismatic, confident, just wowing everybody by the first sight itself. However, you also tend to be a little bit vain and perhaps a tiny bit egoistic, because if someone touches your self-esteem, well, they are going to feel your claws. Again, this is a card of Leo, no, Aries card. Now, why you consider yourself special? The Six of Wands. Okay, I'm not kidding. Some Leo is watching this pile because this is again Leo in its top form. This is one of those big yes cards in the tarot. Look at this. The sun is shining on this warrior who is just flying above all of his obstacles. In traditional tarot, this shows a hero coming back to be celebrated in the city he won. Likewise, you consider yourself a trailblazer, someone who enters the competition just to decimate it. You always win. You consider yourself a winner. Wow, you have this absolute positive energy pile too, which is just making me more and more excited. And okay, this is the King of Wands again. I will not be surprised if I see you as a head of some state some 10 years down the line, because just look at this. The fire is off the charts, but given the amount of air in these cards, you have an equal balance with earth in the kings. The kings carry the fire energy and the earth energy, or in some interpretations, the kings are double fire energies. So, you are just heading something very, very big. You consider yourself a leader, while other people look at you as some pugnacious and a little bit quarrelsome person. You look at yourself as a go-getter, while other people look at you as a natural born leader, someone who is very charismatic, just sweeping them off the feet. You are naturally like that, and there is nothing wrong with it. Just make sure that you don't let the ego cloud your senses. What does actually make you special? The Chariot, again with the focused energy. The Chariot is divinely targeted. Like, I use the metaphor of an arrow that has been shot. Like that, the Chariot has a single aim and keeps going towards it no matter what. Likewise, you are single-mindedly focused. While you can seem a little bit frivolous to people, you are actually dead serious when it comes to work, and you will get things done no matter what. Just make sure that your aim is true and correct, because once an arrow is shot, you cannot change its course. And the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. Look at the Wands energy. You are special because you tend to keep going when others consider it a lost cause. When you are wounded, when you are on your last leg, you still keep walking, you still keep fighting till you reach the stars. Just pure energy. While too, you are just amazing. Okay, what lies in your future that makes you even more special? The Ten of Cups. This is happiness for the whole community. Okay, some of you definitely have political aspirations. If not, you are going to be heading something large, like a huge company, maybe the next big thing. That establishes happiness for a whole lot of people, or at least those whom you consider worthy of spending your energy for. And a final card. Okay, this came up reversed and I'm going to read it like that. It's the Five of Pentacles. So you are overcoming some great illness, some poverty, something that left you destitute and alone, out in the cold. Given the amount of energy in your reading, I'm sure whatever life throws at you, you are willing to take it on and you are willing to come out of the other side happy. Not to mention, you have two fives in your reading, which are times of great changes, good changes. So, pile 2, you are here to kick some backsides and take some names. Your life sounds just amazing. No wonder you are so special. That was your reading. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi pile 3. If you chose the Frog Prince photo, then this is your reading. So why do other people consider you special? The Lady of Leviathans, which is the Queen of Pentacles. You know, the traditional tarot shows the Queen of Pentacles as someone who sat in between this absolute abundance, like plants are flowering, fruits are ripening, and she just has all these pentacles at her disposal. I like this one even better. Look at this. She has built an entire tower in her name and she has protective walls around it, and she is not stopping with that. She is researching, constantly looking for ways to improve upon the wealth that she already has. She was born into wealth and she is breaking back by making more and more wealth. Similarly, people tend to look at you and get this rich guy, this bossy babe vibe. Like, not only are you rich, but you are savvy enough to protect it and kind enough to give away to others, because the queens are just beautiful protective energies. And this lady, the Queen of Pentacles, is protective as well as giving of money. And the Three of Airships. Wow. So you also give off a bit of a sad boy or sad girl vibe. Like, people think you have undergone some great heartbreak or betrayal in your past that you have overcome, and hence you have this tragic Byronic hero type of vibe around you. Look at this. This guy is slipping out of his airship and others are just watching, not trying to direct the cord line towards him so he can save himself. Likewise, people think you might have been burned in the past, and that's why you seem a little bit hesitant when it comes to the matters of your heart. While you tend to be generous around finance and money and sharing your wealth, you are not that good at sharing your feelings, your heart, your emotions. So you come off as this kind of generous but closed off person to other people. Why you consider yourself special? The Ten of Pentacles. Okay, someone has been born into some serious wealth, or you are in the process of generating that wealth. You might consider yourself quite lucky in terms of financial matters. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or if you just make paycheck to paycheck every month. You're quite content with what you have and you are willing to give to others because you believe that wealth given is wealth regenerated. And the Six of Swords. Okay, while people think you are still stuck in the place of heartbreak and not quite trusting, you consider yourself a survivor, someone who has made it from the boat on fire to calmer waters. People might have broken your heart, they might have stabbed you thrice, but you came back with three more swords. You are on the journey of healing, or you might have already completed your journey and now you help others in terms of their feelings. That's how you see yourself. You think you're special because you have healed what others think is a permanent wound on you. Okay, why are you actually special? The Hierophant. Oh, this just continues the theme. You are the upholder of tradition wherever you go. People come up to you like you're this kind of mother figure who leads in soft power. Think Queen Elizabeth. Like, sometimes people think you're boring, like you are holding on to the old traditions, but it makes you charming in a way that just can't be replicated. You are this old world classy person. You might also be a very good teacher, someone who not only enjoys following tradition but also enjoys teaching about it to other people so they know why we do these traditions. I remember something written by Lady Colin Campbell. Have to hold the soup spoon away from you when you are in a dinner with the nobility because it is designed to prevent the soup from splashing all over you when you scoop it up. Like, if you don't know that, you would think they're crazy for scooping the soup this way. But if you know it, you tend to follow it. You are that kind of person who has this small interesting tidbits that constitutes actual class instead of cheap fast cars, fast life, money kind of thing. Your next card is the Two of Wands. This is Sun in Aries, if I'm not mistaken. You are an expansionist, pile 2. Sorry, pile 3. If you are drawn to pile 2, please check it out. You have the world in your hands and you can make whatever you want of it. This is also because you are not as attached to the wealth or being constantly scared that someone is going to take it away from you. You are willing and bold. You just go forth and take risks and just think on the fly, making new decisions. Just this dynamic leader who is always looking forward while keeping an eye on their back. And what happens in your future that makes you even more special? The Page of Pentacles, but in the reversed position. So the Page of Pentacles is the ultimate student archetype. They are just learning. This makes sense because why do you need to be a student of wealth when you are already born with it? But this also carries a warning. Like, you tend to be a bit playing fast and loose with your money. So you do need to learn a bit to manage your finances so that you don't end up being bankrupt when something strikes your tower. And your final card is the Nine of Cups. Oh, wishes fulfilled. You are just going to end up having so many cups that you can show off to all the people you wish to show. Even the fact that you had your heart broken and mended it again yourself, this is a very good card to show up, because this is finding self-fulfillment and happiness within yourself. So, while others think you need to pair up, you are lonely and you are unhappy, you are actually out there just chilling, enjoying your life. So pile 3, you sound bougie. I love to have a friend like you, because to be blessed materially, emotionally and spiritually, just fantastic. Okay, that was your reading and I'll see you in your next one. Bye. Hi pile 4, if you chose the cute egg with the lemon leaf crown, then this is your reading. Also, before we start, I wanted to say you got 3 of these cards and one of them was 4 of swords. It just flipped up when I was picking the cards. So the 4 of swords has 2 meanings. One of it is compelled rest. Someone who is nearing the point of their breakdown and need to push the brakes before it becomes a wreck. And the other meaning is that you are being guided by your ancestors. So I get a feeling that you are very, very special, because you were born into this life with a mission that was determined for you long ago, maybe even lifetimes ago. And your ancestors need you here to play a very crucial role in something that's much bigger than you. Okay, let's see why other people think you are special. The 2 of engines. The explorer. Think Christopher Columbus. Even this card, look at this guy. He is a scientist come adventurer who is just powering up this engine with his battery pack and seeing where it goes. Likewise, people look at you and think a gambling man or woman. You are just ready to throw caution into the wind and boom, start up on your new adventure. And why not? You have the world in your hands and you can make whatever you want of it. And your second card is just the opposite, the messenger of Leviathans, which is the page of pentacles. They think of you as this dedicated student, someone who puts their nose into the grind, someone who is willing to be extremely patient enough to learn to make this small mecha to carry the messengers. You are just a contradiction in a single person, pile 4. Okay, what you consider to be special about you? The Hanged Man. Okay, you consider yourself a kind of a sadhu, like this guy who is willing to suspend himself from the tree just so he can look at all the things from a different point of view. Like Odin, who hung from the tree of life for 9 days to gain wisdom, you are willing to sacrifice anything for what you believe in. That is very special indeed. And the 5 of swords. Okay, you think of yourself as someone who is pretty intimidating. Like You might even think you are a bit of a bully, pile 4, but I don't think so. Like, or maybe you are just a pushy, bossy person who is not going to stop till everyone listens to what they got to say. You're willing to fight dirty if need be. Because all is fair in love and war, right? You truly are an explorer archetype, pile 4. Okay, what actually makes you special? The sun. Okay, I understand why you are so aggressive. You are just constantly burning up. You are this source of like this spreading joy and irritation when you become too much. The sun is like this huge yes card in tarot. Under the sun, nothing can hide. Likewise, you have this keen eye. You are willing to look at it from all angles, and you are willing to put the time and the effort to study about it, and you are willing to get your hands dirty, put it lightly, in the pursuit of truth. You might also be a bit of a scientist. Your next card is the Ace of Wands. Okay, you are just a fountain of creativity. You get new ideas by the buckets. You're just simply sitting there. Only you need to muster up the energy to follow through, which I'm sure you have. And you have the Two of Wands already and the Sun. Just absolutely burning up, brilliant mind, and the passion to match. Okay, what happens in your future that makes you even more special? Okay, this is the Four of Cups. Like I said, your ancestors have something great planned for you, and I am sure you are up to the challenge given the amount of power in your reading. And the Two of Swords. Oh, you are making several important decisions, pile 4. You know, people might think of you as indecisive now, but you are willing to go hard if justice needs to be served. So, you are that character in the films who makes those hard choices, who is just smart enough to make it out if only all the other characters in the horror movie listened to them. You know, the hero or heroine needs you in their corner. Or maybe you might just be the horror movie hero or heroine yourself. And the final card is, oh, the Five of Cups. Yeah, given the fact that you are coming off as a little bit of a cutthroat, you might have some emotional upsets because people tend to see you as a little bit heartless. But that is not stopping you because the show must go on. And you have 2 5s in your reading. This shows some great change is coming into your life that might just turn it upside down. So pile 4, you sound like a tenacious person, someone who will make a good friend but a worse enemy. That was your reading, and I'll see you in your next one. Bye.